The world is a colorful place, period. Whether by staring at the vibrant blues of the ocean, the more neutral tones of the classroom, or through the language of memes, the world has a lot to offer in terms of visual presentation. However, what is color exactly, and how does it work? And how do different combinations of colors affect our brains? Let's get something straight. Color is in fact not some sort of surface material that is embedded into an object, but rather the light that is reflected off an object and back into our eyes. With light being considered a wave, color is also, by association, transmitted through waves as a variant of light. Looking at a chart known as the electromagnetic spectrum, we can see here that there is only a small fraction of light that we can see as color. The reflective energy provided by waves of color holds least over a specific section of what is known as visible light. Go figure. So then, what factor differentiates the blue from the sea from the orange of an orange? Color, as it turns out, is the product of its wavelength, their frequencies. The longer the wave, the less intense the color will be on the eyes. This encompasses colors such as red, orange, and yellow. The shorter the wave, the more intense it will be. This pertains to the colors of green, blue, violet, and beyond. Now knowing that color is the energy that is derived from reflective light, this effectively means, yes, colors are quite literally a trick of the lights. A lie. Our world is objectively a monochromatic canvas with only the illusion of there being tangible color. Sorry to disillusion you. Speaking of illusions, though it has been proven that colors aren't physically interwoven with the objects that we associate with them, the way that colors react with each other has a bit more of a tangible effect on our perceptive reality. Color theory is a concept designed by scientists and artists alike, giving us backgrounds on what colors are more likely to blend with each other, and ones that are more likely to stand out amongst each other, known as complementary and contrasting colors respectively. For a quick example, the blues and greens of the morning forest versus the neon pop-out of this poster. But what happens when we put together another color without these associations? Here, I'm going to show you a quick example that I produced on Photoshop. I want you to look at these two separate bars, and tell me, on which side of the middle bar is technically lighter? Well, it's kind of a trick question because the bar is actually uniform in color, exactly the same throughout the entire image. This isn't too hard to figure out once you stare at it for a while, but at first glance it appears that the bar is somewhat lighter on the bluest background. The effect used here is known as inverse contrast, which reasons that photoreceptors of our retinas are greatly affected by each other, inheriting a similar response to light depending on the wavelength. If I have two colors of similar wavelength, making them complementary, one receptor will amplify that response, as the feel of the color is present in both. Meanwhile, contrasting colors contain no traces of this blue, so it will appear true to its original shade. Since our brain loves shortcuts, this aids in it generally distinguishing objects of similar color. This caused by a similar image known as the Hermann grid. Staring at the intersection of these lines, you may be able to see gray squares, this time caused by the imbalance of paths. There are 4 paths going into an intersection, but only 2 in between each one of them. Therefore, the intersection provides more contrast relative to its surroundings, inhabiting the photoreceptors of our retinas and substituting the color gray. Other types of contrasting illusions include the afterimage effect, also known as excessive contrast. If you will, try staring at the cross of the shift. You see that the moving dot may progressively become green. The simple explanation for this is that the photoreceptors of your retinas eventually become fatigued and begin losing their sensitivity to the stationary peripheral light, that of which it is not focusing on. The resting dot turning green, a contrasting color as a result. In conclusion, our perception of reality is exceptionally diverse in the ways that we can see color. However, from these provided examples of colorful illusions, it's clear that our eyes are not flawless in their processing of specific information. Despite these shortcomings, artists and others have been able to exploit the properties of varying techniques in color in order to innovate on their respective fields in a variety of ways. From inducing different moods to providing association with different brands, objects, and symbols. But that's a subject for a different day, so thank you for watching in the meantime.